Hey guys, hope we are doing incredibly well and welcome to the new YouTube channel. It's honestly fantastic to have you here and I appreciate you because I'll be honest, I'm getting a little bit fed up with Instagram and just having to grab people's attention so quickly. It doesn't really sit very well with me and I feel like YouTube is definitely the way to go since I'm trying to put out more valuable and helpful and useful content for you guys. So I get this probably won't be for everyone because they're going to be some slightly longer videos than what you'll see on my Instagram, but it's something I want to do and I feel like you should get a ton of value from this channel. So if you're here, honestly, thank you very much. Please hit the subscribe button for me and it will show me that the effort I'm putting into this is paying off by being able to help more people. So if you've landed here from YouTube and you don't know me at all, my name is Reese, I am an online fitness coach and I specialise in coaching shift workers, primarily police officers, paramedics and police staff. A little bit about me, I worked in the police for 4 years. I've done a 6 on 4 off shift pattern. I'll spare you the detail for now, but I eventually left and started my coaching business after having a little bit of my own journey through losing weight and just keeping on top of my fitness whilst I was in the police. It also helped me so much more mentally to cope with the things that I'd seen in my job and the situations I found myself in, and I couldn't be more thankful for having fitness as something to focus on. So guys, this video is for you if you work a 6 on 4 off shift pattern and you're looking to get fitter, stronger, and just generally more consistent with your training around your shifts, because I get it can be difficult to fit in. So if that sounds like you, I've got you covered, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how many days to train, how to fit it in around your shifts, and how to structure your training so you recover well. Now, a common issue I find with a lot of officers that work this shift pattern is that 2 things are probably happening. They're trying to smash all of their training over their 4 rest days, and then they're burning out, they're doing too much, or something comes up over their rest days and they just have to skip their sessions, whether that be a trip away or maybe a boozy night out, and it takes a few days to get things back on track, let's be honest. And then they just start the set feeling like they're on the back foot and they're like, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna wait until my rest days because I can't fit it in right now, I'm really busy. The other thing that happens is you will just see your week as Monday to Friday. This is probably the bigger mistake that gets made, but you're thinking, oh, you know, I'll go to the gym on Monday, and like that could be your second night shift, you know, it could be your second early shift. So the best thing you can do here is see your shift pattern as almost your training split. So your week as a whole is 10 days. So you can almost ignore the Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday kind of concept. Sure, days of the week still matter because you might have plans on a certain day with a non-job friend or family or relative, whatever. But I would just see your week as a 10-day block. So you've got your 6 shifts and your 4 rest days. And from there, you can literally break it down shift by shift. So rather than having set days of the week to train on, you have your set shifts that you train on. But look, I could talk about this all day. This is a job for Whiteboard Reese. So let's go and see what he's up to. Here he is. And I know what you're thinking. You're expecting someone else, but you've just got me again. Now, hopefully you can see this okay. I've got earlies, lates, nights, and rest days written up on the board. I have ordered a bigger whiteboard as well, so this should be more visible because there'll be more videos like this, I imagine. So let's get stuck into an example with some justification for the days that you want to be training on. Now, being honest, early shifts, if you were like me when I was in the police, you're probably a bit of a shite magnet and you finish late, you just go to all manner of weary jobs, and the last thing you fancy doing is going to the gym. Look, I get it. There were times where I still trained, I still got it in. We've got to understand the fact that if we're, say, on a weekend early shift, if you go to like a leisure centre or, you know, if you fancy going to a David Lloyd, they do close quite early. So by the time you get off your shift, properly closed. On the flip side of that, if we're going on a weekday, they're gonna be busy. If you go to like a Pure Gym or something like that, it's gonna be Ramo. But your best bet after an early shift, it's just to survive the day. So what a lot of my clients will do when they do the shift pattern, they'll just make sure their food's in a good place and they may spend, I don't know, half an hour, something like that, getting food ready for their late shifts, if they've just come off of their second early. I would say still do some activity here. So this could be a day if you're into running, where you could go out for one of your shorter runs. So like a tempo run or something. You know, something that's going to take us like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, where all we really need to do is get hydrated, warm up, pop the shoes on, out the door, and then we're back. What I would suggest doing if you're not into running is just go for a walk. Even if it's just 10 minutes around the block, you're gonna feel way more energized when you come in, and then you won't be falling asleep on the sofa. So early shifts are gonna be a rest day from the gym. So we'll leave those there. These are just the days where we wanna try and control our food and maybe look at getting some light activity in after work. Bringing us on to our late shifts. These were honestly my favorite shifts when I was in the job. So late shifts, here's what I would do. I'd train on the first one before you go into work. So let's say you go to bed at a good time on the second early, you've had 8-9 hours sleep, Bloody amazing. I can't remember the last time I had 9 hours since I became a dad. So if you're getting that, you are winning, my friend. But you're gonna have a big gap between finishing your early shift and going on to that first late shift. So you've got plenty of time to fit in, say, a 45-minute or hour workout. Now, this could be a very good session. It could be one of our best sessions of the set. So I would say train before your first late shift. So we'll give that 1 tick to signal 1 training session. Second late shift, completely down to you. I was usually fine to go and do 2 sessions back to back, but you might want to have a rest day if you're just getting back into the gym and you're just focusing on starting slow and just building up a consistency. But the beauty with a late shift is you basically have your evening before work. So whilst you've got more energy and you haven't spent your day doing shit for other people. So we've got all that time to fit stuff in and have a little bit of downtime before work. Cool, bring us on to the night shifts. Now, with this, I would say your best bet is to train before your first night shift. You've got all day, and I can't imagine if you're coming off of a late shift, you're getting in, you're going to bed, can't imagine you're sleeping in for too late. So you might be up at, say, 10 o'clock, okay? On a good day. If you've got kids, it's gonna be earlier, and then you might just wanna have a nap before you go into your night. So I'd say here, you've got all day to go and train. If you're training in like a JD gyms or Pure Gym, something like that, they are gonna get busy as the day goes on, usually from around 3:30. So I would try to make sure your session is done on that first night shift before that. So you've got all day there to go and crack on with it. And it just gives you plenty of time then to have a nap before you go into work. On the flip side, if you're someone that works out in the station gym and you're happy to shower at work, you could have a decent dinner, get yourself fueled for a training session. You could drive into work in your gym stuff, work out before your shift, have a shower, go into your shift. With a pump, of course. So completely down to you. I would just say the first night shift is probably the one where you're gonna get a decent session in prior to that because you've had a good sleep usually. Second night shift, I would just keep things light. You could go for a walk. If you wanted to go to the gym, you could probably go and do a little bit of light cardio just to get your energy levels up, but I would keep it chilled. Just go for a walk. Make sure you're having some good food that day as well. So night shifts, again, we will train before the first one. Now, moving on to our rest days. And this is where it's easy to almost go overkill in the gym. Because at the end of the day, people think that we need to be in the gym all the time, but we don't, okay? You're much better off doing 4 sessions over 10 days and being able to actually commit to that consistently for a long period of time than you are having a set where you're doing like 8 sessions, okay? But the next set you're doing none. Because we're gonna be able to be consistent with a lower amount. The training sessions are probably gonna be a way better quality and we'll have way more time to recover from them as well. And it's not too much admin fitting them in. So anyway, rest days. I would probably just rest on your first one. You've come off a busy set, you've just done 6 shifts, back to back to back. You're gonna be a little bit tired. So the goal with this first rest day is just to get your sleep back in a good place. So that means, yeah, you'll probably have a little bit less sleep after that second night, and then we can push on through. Try not to have a nap because that will impact sleep pressure, but that is a topic for another video altogether. But it just means you get to go to bed at a good time that night. Second rest day, it's game on. You're gonna have an amazing session if you've been strict with your sleep on that first rest day. Down to you if you wanna train on the third one. You could just go for a run or do some light cardio, or go for a longer walk if you've got time. I would then say to train on that 4th rest day because we're then having 2 early shifts without any training. So you'll have plenty of time to recover before you go back onto that first late shift and you've got your next workout scheduled in. So rest days, we're gonna put A times 2. We'll be training twice, second rest day and 4th rest day. So guys, in summary, if you plan your week out that way, you can easily fit in 4 good quality training sessions over your 10-day set. If you do this, you'll find that your consistency will shoot up, you'll get better results, and you'll just see way more progress with your training. And we're working with our shifts because there's so many silver linings to shift work. You get to go to the gym during the day when there's no one else there. And when you get 4 days off to recover as well. So providing we're using those wisely and we're being smart about our training and not overcooking it, we're gonna be in a great place. And I will cover training splits and things like that on another video, but if you wanted a 3-day-a-week full body style training plan, that's gonna take you about 45 minutes, where all you'll need is some dumbbells and a cable machine. This is gonna be a great plan to get you started with. I've left a link just below in the description box if you wanted to check that out. There will be video walkthroughs and tutorials that I've filmed for each exercise on that plan. And I've kind of built it so you've got a progression scheme over 6 weeks, which means over those 6 weeks, you'll be getting a little bit stronger without actually having to change anything other than just following the plan. On the flip side of that, if you feel like you need a little bit more support and you'd like all of your training and nutrition taken care of for you, you around your shifts and life outside of work, this is what I do for a living. And you can work with me on a one-to-one basis, meaning you've got my support every step of the way, and I'll be in your back pocket. I have left a link below as well if you wanted to book in a quick inquiry call. No commitments, nothing like that, just a chat about the service. But either way, guys, if you found this useful, please drop a comment below and be sure to hit subscribe if you'd like some more videos just like this one, because I'm going to be uploading these on a regular basis from here on out. Look after yourself, guys, and thank you so much for watching.